A few years ago, I was dating an incredible woman. We had years of dating and companionship. She helped me in many ways, even financially. But despite getting along very well, our ideas didn't align. We wanted different things in the relationship. So we ended up breaking up. Shortly after, I met my current girlfriend. She was leaving a toxic relationship where her husband treated her terribly, and I was completely different. I treated her like a princess, helped her through crises stemming from her past, and helped her overcome the trauma she had from that relationship. We spent a lot of time together, loving each other. She's perfect, an excellent homemaker, kind. And everything was going well until my ex ended up hospitalized. My ex had a work accident and was hospitalized. We live in another country, and here my ex only had me and her aunt, who brought her here. Her aunt called me in desperation, asking me to stay with her at night, as she worked during that time until her father, who lives in Brazil, could come here. I told my current girlfriend, and she was extremely upset. She completely changed her behavior towards me, started treating me as if I were cheating on her by helping my ex. She began envisioning scenarios where I'd reconnect with my ex and get back together, crying and saying I would leave her, despite my reassurances that I wouldn't. I'm in a bind. My ex's father will only arrive next week, and I don't know if my current relationship will last until then. My girlfriend is creating theories about my relationship with my ex, and our previously perfect relationship is falling apart. I submit this plea to this court. Am I a jerk for being concerned about my ex's well-being and believing that my current girlfriend is throwing a tantrum?
Hello, Sai here. Throwing a tantrum is a little bit too much, don't you think? The first thing that crossed my mind was abandonment issues. There is not enough evidence to cooperate with this theory of mine, but the least that I can say is that she was in a bad relationship and he presented himself as a safe place. Now she could be afraid to lose this. The history in itself is very interesting, and I can't wait to see what you think about it. But I will not dwell a lot in it, because spoiler alert, this is a fanfic. Let's see the comments.
You're a humane and decent person. Keep doing what you've been doing for the girl and let time pass. We can't cure other people's paranoia.
I can't think of a single person who would feel perfectly comfortable knowing that their boyfriend is interacting with his ex in this way. It's not paranoia when there are reasons for you to be suspicious, even if in this case, the guy has good intentions. It's still something that should have been discussed in advance.
The number of people saying NTA is significantly disproportionate to the number of people who would willingly accept the situation if they were in the current position. Only about 1% of those who answer NTA are likely being genuine.
It's because he isn't the jerk. But I'd like to see these people in the current girlfriend's shoes. Haha. It's a complicated situation. It's understandable that he wants to help. But I wouldn't date someone who's at the hospital taking care of their ex-boyfriend, no matter how admirable that gesture is.
It's very naive to think that anyone in the world would accept this smoothly. An ex should be blocked, family included.
Being in another country, it weighs, doesn't it?
Weight of what? Having contact with an ex.
Exactly. She and her aunt could be a support network in case he falls ill next month. I think each case with an ex is unique. In this specific situation, I don't think he's entirely wrong.
You ended things amicably with your ex. You're in another country, and she's hospitalized. I think she'd do the same for you. I didn't end things as smoothly as you did, but I'd still offer the brief support that was asked of you, then think my current girlfriend would insist on it.
Impossible that there isn't another alternative, like paying for a caregiver or whatever might be needed, and depending on the age, they might not even need a companion perhaps. Oh, you're in another country. It doesn't work like that. It's too expensive. Unfortunately, that's not your or your current partner's problem. As mentioned in the comments, it's naive to think the current partner wouldn't freak out. And mind you, I'm usually quite relaxed and often comment when someone is exaggerating in their jealousy, but this is the height of it.
Man, screw this holo. But it's the ex thing. It's a matter of empathy. It's about helping someone who needs help and doesn't have support. It's about doing good for someone in need. This whole issue of, but she's the ex, and he's with someone else currently, is so petty.
Hold on.
Aren't you that guy who some time ago posted that you didn't want to return to Brazil to get married, even though the girl was waiting for you, helped you travel, was supporting you? But you didn't want to live in another country? Were you just dragging your feet to say that? You wouldn't return to fulfill the agreement. Is this girl the ex? Now she's decided to live abroad, and are you the one taking care of her because she's alone? If that's the case, you were the asshole in that post and you're the asshole now. You have no consideration for other people's feelings. What the fuck?
I went to check the profile, and he deleted the old post. Hahaha, I remember that story, and I commented too. Fanfic.
I remember the post. He said he didn't want to go back to Brazil because he had achieved things he'd never achieve here. His girlfriend didn't want to go to Japan. And a month later, he appears saying that the person who absolutely didn't want to go to Japan moved there and had an accident that left her unable to take care of herself. All very staged.
It was an interesting story to discuss, but knowing that it's fake kinda makes it pointless. In this situation, I would help my ex if I had free time to stay in the hospital. If not, she could be alone there. Like people said in the comments too, she is in a safe place. She is surrounded by doctors and nurses. My presence there will not help. This is not a spy movie. No one is going to poison her medication. Let me know what you would do if this situation was real. See you in the next one.